posted, and you click at the bottom after reading them and give information to attest that you have reviewed them and are willing to comply with them. You're also required to create a safety plan. There is a template available if you have not created your own, or you can use the template as a guide to customize your own. There's also significant additional information at health.ny.gov and also at esd.ny.gov, which is Empire State Development's website. With respect to going to the guideline components on the next slide, obviously, both restaurant and accommodations and retail have had the benefit of your industry associations providing very specific details as to how you can comply from a best practice standpoint, and in many instances that also would cover you on the mandatory requirements. I think we all know about physical distancing, protective equipment, hygiene and cleaning, communications, and screening. And those are the guidelines that when outdoor seating is the only seating that you're offering, you need to close the indoor dining and seating areas. Employees must wear face gear at all times. Customers are asked to wear face gear at all times except when they're seated at the table. Again, outdoor dining, patrons must wear face coverings at all times except when seated, provided that the patron is over the age to tolerate one. I once asked why under 2, and they said that 2-year-old with a fat mask on is going to touch their face a lot more than they might otherwise, and it was more about keeping them from doing that than worrying about their inability to breathe. Again, the number of tables you can have, it's going to be very similar to what, once we get inside, will be limited to what you can appropriately arrange with the 6-foot distancing requirement. As we move to the next slide, the individuals seated must be from the same party, but they can be from different households. So if you're willing to sit with someone, take your mask off less than 6 feet, you can join them at the same table. Can't have tables of more than 10 people. And communal tables are only permitted if 6 feet can be maintained between the parties. So, if you're at either a banquet or some type of, picnic, long picnic table, they need to have 6 feet barrier or breakups between each party. It's also required that you have 6-foot spacing lines so that customers who are waiting to order, waiting to get a seat, or waiting to use the restroom or pick up food know where to stand. I saw an ice cream place that had chalk rainbows as their markings on the ground to keep us apart. The next is designate entrances and exits where possible limit in-person gatherings so that the staff aren't all gathered around the tray station type of thing. Moving to the next slide, designated other or to prevent them from running into other customers or co-workers. Face coverings at no cost to the employee, adequate supply. They can be cloth, homemade sewn, quick cut, bandanas, surgical masks. I mean, we're getting kind of repetitious now that we're in phase 3. Again, personal protective equipment on the outdoor dining is keeping them clean, how to put them on, moving here, ensure that equipment is regularly cleaned and disinfected. Again, moving to the next slide before returning to work, complete pre-return checks and assessments of kitchen systems. So I think that that's a big, we're starting into an area where, as you're starting to reopen your restaurant, if you haven't been doing takeout or now that you're using the interior space, that they're really suggesting that you do a complete pre-check and that you fully clean the areas that had not been previously used by customers or staff. and business. The requirements that they had outlined up above, guidance regarding protocols and I think I now I'm up to slide 50, and the State Department of Labor website, labor.ny.gov. Now we go to indoor dining. Posting this, you have to fill it out when your business, payment is Wednesday, and we said outdoor from each other, tables that can be together, but indoors about what type of, again, the key of the business you are, and now we can go. Website to fulfill the requirement or develop your own. Contained on the premises and made available to the state or local health department in the event of an inspection. Business owners should refer to the state's industry-specific guidance for more information at forward.ny, New York. And also, we mentioned the state health department, and also we mentioned the CDC and all of your industry association best practices. Again, the safety plan deals with people, places, and the processes and other. And as you see, this template is 4 or 5 pages long. I think it's from my recollection is you can go online and fill it out. Right on the autofill. You can fill in the spaces and print it off, and you can have it. And again, if you go to page 66, state and federal resources, again, the Department of Health, the CDC, and various other state agencies. So I guess as we do narrow this down and keep going through the process, while they're if you're in the restaurant or food service business and you start to review carefully the specific guidelines for your phase 3 industry, you're going to see it's what I've touched on are really the basics that are applicable to all the phases. And from my understanding is there's some very specific things that either you're obligated to
Yeah, with that, we have provided you with a resource, the National Restaurant Association, that deals specifically with reopening for restaurants. It's a very detailed PowerPoint presentation that you can go through that will assist you with your employees, with sanitation, social distancing, and the like. Also, one of the recommended best practices is to try to handle cash as least as possible. So phone payments or credit card payments are probably a good way to try to move towards as we look to raise capacity from 50% to 75 to 100%. So it's something you should think about. And again, related to resources, just go to Columbia. With that, Katie has put a link for the PowerPoint that we just saw, and a link to the presentation for food service we just reviewed. So she sent out that in the chat box. If you have any questions or concern, please use the chat box or raise your hand, and Michael and I will recognize you.
Jeff. Guess we have 4 questions here. Any questions? Use the chat function. Slides are posted to Columbia detailed guidelines for personal care. So there are no real questions. Those are the things that Jeff said that we had posted. A couple of other, we'll give a minute for questions, but in the meantime, there's additional information that we've posted on the PPP, the PPP loan forgiveness program. The forgiveness rules aren't out there completely, but I think you know that Congress passed a revisions to that law last week that make it much easier to be able to absorb the funds that you may have received if you did, and that takes it out for 24 weeks from originally 8. Hopefully that will enable more businesses to be able to absorb all of the funds they received, which were hard in an 8-week window, but hopefully will be easier with the 24-week. Loan program. It's information on that program is out there and available. We understand that many people who had initially applied 60 or 5 days ago for the SBA's emergency impact loans are starting to receive confirmation of those loans, and in fact the paperwork, and in some cases cash. In addition, Columbia Economic Development had rapid recovery loans available, as well as other SBA loans.
As soon as I put them down here, they were gone.
Could you go on mute, please? And then, so there's a lot of programs out there. You can check CEDC's Jeff or Katie, was there anything else that?
Yeah, I would like to now turn it over to Katie. I just want anyone's on this call who's considering reopen and have not reopened yet, please let us know. We are in the middle of a shop local campaign for Columbia County, and the chamber, along with tourism and CDC, is providing the most up-to-date list of those businesses that are reopening. You can go to our Facebook page or Columbia County, ColumbiaComeback.com, or the CD's website, tourism website, or the chamber's website to tell us what hours you're opening, if you now have delivery service, or and that you're anticipating in-house dining in a week or two. Please let us.
There are a few other initiatives that we've been working on. One is the Hudson Bonds program, which enables individuals to buy bonds to spend at participating businesses in the city of Hudson. Basically, you pay twice the amount. Half of it goes towards the business, and the other goes towards the creation of a larger grant program to continue to provide economic relief in the future. You can visit that through the Hudson Business Coalition's website. I'll include a link to that in the chat function in case that's of interest to anybody. eligibility for this program is you must be a business or organization based in Hudson, and the project must take place in Hudson. I will also share this information in our chat, and we're also promoting it throughout our newsletters, the Chamber's newsletters, et cetera, to try and spread the word. But of course, if you know someone who might be interested, please do share, as it's our intent to, Additionally, across the county, the deadline closes for the Chatham Business Continuity Grant. This is a microcycle of the Columbia County Business Continuity Program. A donor-based grants up to $1,000 available for businesses in the village of Chatham. And that deadline closes. I think if there's anything else at this time, but I think that's a pretty good roundup of programs we have available. Mike is across Columbia County looking for additional funding at, I think, a very welcoming and accessible interest rate and details. I'll be sure, I know this is a lot, and a lot of numbers, a lot of different programs. I'll be sure to include this in the chat. And our hope is, with programs like this and initiatives like the Shop Local campaign, there really is a coordinated and cohesive effort to online or in person. Thanks.
Thank you, Katie. The other two things are Hudson Hall is aggregating PPE, personal protection equipment, and it's available online at very reasonable prices through their ticket office at hudsonhall.org. And finally, the Hudson Shared Summer Street Initiative, that is moving forward, getting continued input from merchants and residents and shoppers and government officials alike. And my understanding is that a trial run will start on June 26th, Saturday, June 26th, and run through the month of July to see what components of this pilot attracting people and making the customer comfortable to be shopping and dining in Hudson. And I think we're also and Copac and Chatham and Volusia and other Main Street areas throughout the county. So if there are any comments or questions from our participants, please feel free to speak up, open your microphone or raise your hand, and we'll give you a few minutes to see if anyone has anything they'd like to share. If not, again, Jeff, on behalf of Matt Morrell, the chair of the Board of Supervisors, I know that we all appreciate your participation, not only those of you here today, but those who have participated in previous focused events like this, as well as the committee meetings themselves.
Yeah, I want to thank each and every one of you for your participation today. We're trying to provide you with the most up-to-date information. Again, if you have any specific questions, go to info@columbiacomeback.com to get a hold of us directly to answer your specific questions. We'll try to get back to you in 24 to 48-hour time frame. Katie has listed a number of web links for you to consider announcing all the announcements that we have. Again, contact us at the chamber. If you are now reopening, you may have taken a pass on phase 1 and 2, but now figure that you can reopen. And so we can let the community at large know. This has been a joint partnership between Columbia Economic Development Corporation, the chamber, and also tourism. We want to give thanks out again to Chairman Morrell for putting this august body together and
Thank you all very much.
Thanks, Mike. See you, Amy. See you, Katie.